Okay, second student. So for this video, I will teach you and guide you how to tackle the questions about electrolysis, especially for paper 2 and paper 4, objective and subjective. So you can use the same technique for objective also, okay? So now for question number 14, luckily this question gives the diagrams to you, so it helps you a lot. Okay, so what you should do, first, when you get the electrolysis, you should check your electrode first. Okay. So now in this one, the electrode is carbon. Okay, carbon means inert. Okay, inert means they unreactive. So if they are inert, so you know this is a factor 1 and factor 2. Except other than carbon, the inert one is platinum and graphite. Okay, if you see these three words, so you know this one is inert. Okay, it mentioned about factor 1 and factor 2. Okay, so now after you know the factor, you see, you read the questions and you know it clearly this one is the first factor. Why? Because they didn't mention about concentrated solution. Okay, so this is factor 1. So means you need to check the series lah. Okay, so after that, the second step, the things that you should do is write ions. What ions do you have? Okay, so in this question, they use copper sulfate. So ions that you have here is, you have Cu2 plus, you have SO4 2 minus, you have H plus, and you have OH minus. Okay, so now after you choose the what we call the ions, the third step you should select ion attract to anode and cathode. Okay, which one will select and attract to anode and cathode? And if you remember, the tall one is anode, the short one is cathode. Positive, the one that come positive is negative. So the one that come here is either SO4 2 minus and OH minus. But this one at negative, the one come here is Cu2 plus or H plus. Okay, so means they come at this electrode lah. Okay, so between SO4 and OH, you will choose OH because they lowest positions, right? Compared to Cu and H plus, you will choose Cu because they are at the bottom. So the third step, the fourth step, after you choose the ion that attracted, so you will do half equation. This is the step. Do the half equation. So if the question didn't ask, but you need to do because it helps you to know what the reactions occur. So at anode, okay, anode positive, what you select here? OH minus. Okay, OH minus, the discharge become neutral, O2 plus H2O plus electron. Okay, so you balance here, you will produce 4 OH minus, 4 electron. And you do for cathode also. Cathode, you choose what? Cu2 plus, the discharge become Cu. Okay, you by gain 2 electron. Okay, so that's why here you produce oxygen, you will see bubble gas here. Okay, here you produce copper metal, right? So you will see they become thicker here. Okay, so the observation already in the module, you need to check back lah. Okay, identify the gas, a gas formed at anode. You check, oh, anode correct, you produce oxygen gas. Half equation help you to prove the question. So it's linear equation. So the gas that you know you produce here is oxygen, right? How you test oxygen in the module already have, use use glowing wooden splinter in test tube. Okay, and what happened? It relight. Okay, the burning wooden splinter will relight. Very easy, right? So it's already helped you. During electrolysis, electricity pass through the copper sulfate solution. So solution means they have water lah. Solid copper sulfate does not conduct. Okay, explain both. Okay, first we explain about solutions first. In solution of copper sulfate, okay, ion is ion are free to move. Free to move to conduct. When they can move, they can conduct electricity. Okay, so remember electricity, ion must free to move. But then you explain about solid pula. So the question mentioned solid cannot conduct electricity. Okay, so they cannot conduct electricity. Explain why. Because in solid state, ion not free to move. Okay, so electricity cannot. Electricity cannot be conducted. Okay. So that's the reason. The reason is the keyword is free moving ion. Okay, the electrolysis was repeated using copper electrode. Now draw. Just now they're using carbon. Now you draw because this one doesn't have diagram. Okay, you draw. Okay, just the same thing, but they said they repeat this thing. They're using this one. The electrode that they use here is copper, Cu. So you ask yourself, is this inert? No. Check back what is inert. Okay. So if there is not inert, you know that this is factor 3. If they are not inert, directly factor 3. Okay. So check your electrolyte. You have copper sulfate also. So same, you have ion Cu2 plus, SO4 2 minus, H plus, OH minus. Need to do again. If you not sure, please do. Okay, it helps you a lot. So you see, oh, this one, what happened for the third factor? The problem is anode, always anode. So what happened at anode? Electrode become thinner, right? Okay, third factor, electrode become thinner at anode. What happened? Okay, at anode, you have Cu, the solid electrode, they become Cu2 plus, become they ionize lah in the liquid. So after a long time, you see they become thinner. This one, for cathode, no problem. Cathode, who will come to cathode? You will Cu2 plus dengan H plus. So the one that you choose is Cu2 plus. They attract here, okay? So you do the half equation also dekat cathode. Okay, dekat cathode, Cu2 plus plus 2 electron to become Cu. Oh, your product Cu, metal. So if metal, you will see they become thicker. Or observation for copper is brown solid. Okay, so that's why at anode, you see, that's why anode, they take copper, metal become liquid. Okay, reactance is far with electrons, so we call this one as loss electron. This one reactant near to electron, we said gain electron. Okay, so what does it mean by loss electron? It means oxidation. Gain electron means reduction. How to remember? Very easy. You arrange anode, cathode, alphabetical order. So oxidation O first, followed by reduction. Okay, so anode is oxidation, cathode is reduction. So anode is oxidation, cathode is reduction. Like that, you remember like that. Okay, which species is reduced? Reduce means reduction. So we already discussed. So you know the one that undergo reduction is Cu2 plus. So your answer is Cu2 plus. Explain, give the reasons why you said Cu2 plus. Because why you said they are undergo reduction? It gain electron. That's why they reduce reduction, because they gain electron. Very easy. Okay, I already give the tips, please remember. Okay, now for this question, the mass of copper electrode change. Right, okay, we discussed already, they become thicker, right? If you remember just now, state how and explain why the mass of two copper electrodes change. Use the ionic half equations to help you. Okay, so this one is about for this one. Okay, this one for anode they become thinner, right? For cathode they become thicker because you choose Cu2 plus. This one solid to liquid become thinner. But this one from liquid you become solid. So become thicker lah. Okay. So they ask you to explain how and explain why the mass change. How? How means they increase or decrease. Why they increase or why they decrease. Use the half equations. Okay. So they ask you to use half ion equation. So you do the half equation. So write down anode. What happened dekat anode? The Cu is ionized to become Cu2 plus plus 2 electron. Dekat cathode, Cu2 plus yang discharge to gain 2 electron to produce Cu. How I get this one? Check back the diagram just now. We already discussed why, right? Okay, so now you see, oh, this one anode solid from to liquid, this one liquid to solid. Okay, so first you explain about anode. What happened to the mass anode? Mass of anode is decrease. Why? Because why they decrease? Because copper electrode is change solid to liquid, right? That's not the answer. That is the for you to understanding, but the correct terms because copper electrode is ionized. Okay, they ionize in electrolyte. Okay, so that's why they become thinner. Okay, so you answer for cathode. Cathode, you see, oh, from liquid they have charge to become solid. Okay, so what happened? How the mass change? Mass of cathode increase. Why? Why increase? Because Cu2 plus ion discharge. Okay, discharge, or you can say dekat cathode apa berlaku tadi dekat cathode? Check balik. So you kata dekat cathode berlaku reduction. So you can say because Cu2 plus ion discharge or reduce to become Cu atom. So that's why they become thicker. Okay, so mention first how, then explain why. Why? The reasons is always already in the diagrams. See what happened in your diagrams. Okay, explain why during the electrolysis color of copper sulfate solution does not change. You see here half equation. Half equation helps you a lot. See, okay, if you cannot see here, we see the diagram. So you mentioned to me here Cu produce Cu2 plus, but you produce Cu2 plus, but here you use Cu2 plus, you discharge. You produce Cu2 plus, you discharge. You produce, you discharge. So if you think logically, Cu2 plus punya concentration does not change. Okay, why not change? Because logic lah. You produce Cu2 plus, but in same time you use. You produce, you use. So the concentration does not increase or decrease. Okay, because after you produce, you use again. You produce, you use again the Cu2 plus. So that's why the question mentioned here. Okay, the concentration of Cu2 plus does not change. Okay, okay. So explain the color of copper sulfate solution does not change. Why the color does not change? Because concentration of Cu2 plus does not change. Okay, you may ask me, teacher, why we talk about Cu2 plus? For your information, the color here is caused by Cu2 plus. If the color is changed, because Cu2 plus decrease or increase. Okay, if the color become pale, means Cu2 plus concentration is decrease. If doesn't change, means the concentration Cu2 plus does not change. Okay, so we move to question number 15. Okay, for question number 15, copper to sulfate solution was electrolyzed using the apparatus shown. Okay, so they electrolyze the copper sulfate using the apparatus shown here. Draw arrow to show the direction of movement of electron. Okay, So you need to remember. Okay, so first what you should do, you write down your this one is your first or second factor. Does they mention about concentration? No, so you know this is first factor. For copper sulfate, write down the ion. You have Cu2 plus, SO4 2 minus, H plus, and OH minus. Okay, negative cathode, anode. Okay, A is oxidation, reduction. Follow alphabetical order. Okay. So a negative, this one is you will choose Cu2 plus and H plus. Of course Cu lah because lowest position. This one is OH minus or SO4 2 minus. Of course you take OH because lowest position. Okay, so what happen? You need to understand movement electron. In electric, electron flow. So electron is negative. So it start from cathode lah because cathode negative. So electron flow here. Okay, they come here, electron come here. That's why this one become negative. So who will take this electron? Cu2 plus will take. Okay, Cu2 plus, they will take 2 electron to become Cu. From where? It come from battery. But in same time, OH minus, they donate electron here. Right, if you do OH minus, they will produce O2 plus H2O plus 4 electron. Right, if you balance, OH minus, they donate electron, they lost electron because they lost electron here, electron come here, flow through the wire, they come back to the positive, so they can flow again. So the conclusion is electron, they flow from negative from the negative to positive, or from the cathode to anode. Okay, from negative to positive. Of course, they start with negative lah, because the electron is negative, right? You think like that. So draw an arrow. So you draw arrow. So to draw arrow, you should do like this. Okay, I will make correction here, so you can. So what you should do, you should draw like this. You pun draw arrow like this, like this, like this. You want to show electron flow like this. Okay, draw arrow to show the direction movement positive ions. Positive ions come here, right? So ions come to this part. You show arrow like that lah to show the movement of ions. Very easy questions. Okay, so the last page, oxygen was formed. Okay, they said the oxygen was formed, they produced to you the half equation. Right, okay. So you see reactance is far with electron, we say lost electron. Okay, so we arrange back. You say anode, cathode, oxidation, reduction. So anode, oxidation, cathode, reduction. So why they are oxidation? Okay, so this one is at where? At what? Oxygen formed at anode. So this is oxygen. So you know this is for anode. So if you check the rules, anode is oxidation. So you know this is oxidation reaction. Okay, because they add anode. So why they are oxidation? The question said why this is oxidation? Because they lost electron. Okay, so another word to remember is oxidation is loss electron, reduction gain electron. Okay, write ionic half equation, formation of copper at cathode. Just now we didn't do yet, right? But we already discussed. This is the cathode. You choose Cu2 plus. We already discussed the half equation just now. You can try redo. Okay, so the electrolysis was repeated using copper electrode. Okay, the electrode was changed to copper electrode. So means no diagrams. It means that you need to draw lah. If you don't want to draw, you will have difficulty to answer electrolysis. Okay, you need to be little bit hardworking to draw the diagrams to help you. So label, this is copper electrode now. The question mentioned you change. So this is check inert or not? Not inert, so you know this is factor number 3. Okay, so this one you have copper sulfate. They didn't change electrolyte, right? Same. So write down ion. FCU2 plus, SO42 minus, H plus, OH minus. Always do these steps. It will help you a lot. So at anode, cathode. Anode, the one come here is, of course, you will have Cl minus dengan OH minus. The one that will come here is Cu2 plus and H plus. Which one you will choose? You will choose Cu2 plus. Here what happened? Anode factor 3, right? Anode is problem. So for factor 3, what happened? Electrode become thinner. Okay. So because you have copper here, copper, the electrode from copper, they become ni anode. Copper, they become Cu2 plus by donate 2 electron. Okay, so that's why from solid they become liquid. So they become thinner lah. So we do for cathode. Cathode, you choose Cu2 plus, right? So Cu2 plus, they gain electron to become Cu. Oh, your product Cu solid. So you will see they become thicker. This one become thinner, this one become thicker. So let's see the concentration Cu2 plus. So this one, you produce Cu2 plus, but this one, you produce, you use. You produce Cu2 plus, you use Cu2 plus. So the concentration Cu2 plus does not change. Okay, because the rate formation and rate reuse is same. Okay, state and explain what happened to the mass of anode and cathode. So we already discussed mass anode is decrease. Why? Because you need to mention first what happened. Decrease. Why? Because copper electrode ionize in electrolyte. Okay, what happened to the cathode? Mass of cathode increase. Check back your half equation. That's why half equation very important. They will help you from liquid to solid. Okay, because Cu2 plus ion. We check back this one, the rule, this one just now. What happened at cathode? Cathode undergo reduction. So you can say Cu2 plus ion undergo reduction, or if you don't want, you can say reduction reaction and deposited at electrode. That's why they become thicker, right? Or you can answer also Cu2 plus ion. Okay, if you pening about oxidation and reduction, you say, you can see here Cu2 plus Cu2 plus close to the electron means they gain. Cu2 plus ion gain electron and deposited at electrode. Okay, either one lah, the same thing. You can mention what direction, how direction occur. Okay, so very easy. Okay, the last part questions. The second to the last two questions. Question 16. Electrolysis concentrated of sodium chloride. So what you should do? Draw diagram. Why? They didn't give, so you draw. There should be no problem. You should know how to draw. So after that, read the question in industrial process. Okay, so they didn't mention about your electrode. So if they didn't mention, basically we use carbon or graphite. It means that they are inert. If they are inert, it's either factor 1 or factor 2. And then they mention about concentrated. So you know it is factor 2. So after that, you check your electrolyte. You have sodium chloride. So the ion that you have is Na plus, Cl minus, H plus, and OH minus. So after that, you choose which one will come to the anode, which one will come to the cathode. So the one that will come to anode is, of course, negative lah. OH minus dengan Cl minus. This one is Na plus and H plus. Okay, now okay, so which one you will choose? Concentrated, factor 2. Remember, the problem is always anode. So for factor 2, they said take the upper one. Okay, if you check the series, the upper one is chloride. So you take chloride. So cathode, no problem. You take the lowest, H plus. Okay. So you do the half equation. Cl minus, they become neutral. Cl2 plus 2 electron. Okay. So you do for the H plus also, they become neutral H2 electron at the left side. Positive, negative should be together, right? So your product is chlorine gas and hydrogen gas. But now, oh, chloride gone because you already discharged. H plus is gone. You already discharged. What you have? Na plus and OH minus. So if you combine this, okay, Na plus OH minus, you cross multiplication, you will get NaOH. So what is this, teacher? This is the one that left behind. This one gone, this one gone, the one left Na plus OH minus. So you have sodium hydroxide in electrolyte. So that's why the product here is you have chlorine gas. Name, you need to write down chlorine, and you have the gas of hydrogen, and also you produce sodium hydroxide. That is product also at electrode, okay, at electrolyte. Write ionic half equation at the cathode. Include state symbols. Okay, cathode, which one cathode? Cathode, this one, right? So you choose what? You choose H plus. Okay, this one is cathode. This one is anode. Okay, you pun copy. 2H plus, state symbol. So you'd ask you, oh, H plus is liquid or aqueous? Aqueous, right? So write down aqueous. Electron not need, okay? Hydrogen is what? Solid, liquid or gas? Hydrogen gas lah. You put G, that is state symbol, okay? Hydrogen also can be manufactured by electrolysis. The electrolyte is concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. The same thing with the question 16 just now. The electrodes are inert. Inert means factor 1 or factor 2. But of course you take factor 2 because the word concentrated. So you should draw the diagram, but I don't want to draw anymore. You should draw to answer this question lah. Or you can use the same one with the question 16 just now. Define the term electrolysis. You should know already. Repeated question. Name substance that can be used as inert electrode. Inert always 3. You can use carbon or graphite, or you can use platinum. Either this one, okay? Half equation for the reaction with hydrogen is produced. Half equation for the hydrogen produced. Okay, if you check this one, because you can use the same diagram, because question 16 and 17 same. They use concentrated sodium chloride, the same thing, okay? So hydrogen they produce at cathode. Okay, but in exam you should draw lah actually. So you write down H plus, they become neutral, H2. So electron left side. Okay, you balance, you should take 2 hydrogen, 2 positive, 2 negative lah. Where is hydrogen produced in the electrolyte itself? Where? Where means anode or cathode? You see, if you don't know, if you don't remember, check the diagram. That's why diagram is very important. Oh, hydrogen is at the cathode. So your answer should be at cathode. Alright, very easy question. Okay, so I hope this video will help you to guide you to answer the question for your take home quiz. Okay, thank you students.